Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today guys, we're going to be doing something pretty crazy. Oh, give me 1 second, let me turn my sound down for the music. Oh, it turns it down for you guys as well, doesn't it? Keep it like there, and then I'm just going to mute my audio. So, guys, I'm going to talk about this theory I've come up with. Who is the true final boss of the very popular mod for T-Mod Loader known as the Calamity mod? So anyways, let's jump right into it. So here, let me give a little bit of, backstory behind this. So over the past few weeks, I've grown very bored during quarantine, as I'm sure many of you can, relate to all that fun stuff. I've decided to spend that time playing the most popular Terraria mod, because I'd never beaten it. This mod is known as the Calamity mod, and it's one of the most popular mods to ever be released on T-Mod Loader. The mod contains new events, new bosses, new weapons, new armor, new everything. In the Calamity mod, what would be the final boss of the normal game is so far the strongest being in its world. I've decided to pick back up my old playthrough of the Calamity mod, where I just beaten the boss known as Providence. I recently had defeated Supreme Calamitous like a week ago or so. Not sure if it's still gonna be a week ago when this video comes out. A boss infamous for the trouble it gives players, as it does. It is the strongest boss in all the Calamity mod. While fighting Supreme Calamitous, I could not help but notice one out of place piece of dialogue the boss had said. The exact quote from the game is, "Even if you defeat me, you still have the Lord to contend with." Followed by, "He has never lost a battle, and he has grown far stronger since we last fought. You stand no chance." This outright proves that there's a being in this universe stronger than Supreme Calamitous, that even Supreme Calamitous is scared of. Something stronger than Supreme Calamitous is truly terrifying. If something out there is stronger than Supreme Calamitous, I think it's worth looking into. Now let's get to the first part of my theory. Begin. So the first part of my theory involves the boss known as Supreme Calamitous, so I decided to go on the wiki and do some research. So I decided to start at the dialogue to see if there's anything I had missed that could give us some suggestions as to what this all-powerful being is. Sadly, it seems not much else in the boss's quotes seem to explicitly be referring to this godlike being. After realizing there was not much more to see in the quotes part of the Wikipedia page for Supreme Calamitous, I decided to move the search over to Supreme Calamitous official lore page. I decided on my search to find out what this otherworldly being is. I must first understand what Supreme Calamitous is. I found that the being referred to as Calamitous does not have a name known by any living entity. The entity I shall hereby refer to as Calamitous was raised by a skilled group of mages who taught Calamitous how to master her. Yes, Calamitous is a woman, apparently, according to the wiki. Her destructive magic abilities without the negative effects it can have on the user. Calamitous' family and siblings were crucified by an enemy faction after a heated feud between the two factions. Despite what her parents had taught her about darkness consuming her, Calamitous used the dark magic that she had to destroy the mob that killed her family. She summoned the power of the hellfire and banished the mob to rot eternally in the pits of hell. She began the practice of necromancy in an attempt to bring back the one she had lost. The second, that was just the first paragraph, by the way. The second paragraph of Calamitous' story begins with the fact that Calamitous had succeeded in reviving her brethren. After reviving her brethren, a voice had told her to seek refuge in the jungle. When Calamitous reached the jungle, she had encountered a man known as Yarim. I'm saying Yarim, not Yaren. There's a difference. The man who had called her there. Yarim recruited Calamitous after seeing just how powerful she was. After a betrayal by Amadeus, Calamitous demonstrated just how powerful she was when she incinerated the oceans, took it back at Amadeus, causing the desert scourge to run rampant through the lands. In the third paragraph, that was just the second paragraph. All I have is in the story. It was a very long story. In the third paragraph, she had realized the wrong she had done. For deep down, she knew what she had to do. She betrayed Yarim by summoning an entity known as the Golem, which rampaged through Yarim's temple and distracted Yarim and his soldiers. She uses time to visit Yarim's throne and gather information on some of Yarim's enemies. And the fourth paragraph tells of how Calamitous was cursed by Yarim for her betrayal. Luckily, Calamitous was a safe distance away from the curse, to the point that she survived the ordeal. After Braylor and Status, I'm going to assume that's how that's said, the enemies of Yarim were defeated, Calamitous rejoined Yarim, and the curse was lifted in exchange for Calamitous to dedicate the rest of her life to defending her new master and bringing cruelty upon the world. The story of Calamitous is quite sad and provides some light on why she is the way she is. I can't speak today. I'm sorry, it is late at night and I'm tired. And also who this god is. So we know the only thing stronger than Calamitous is this god named Yarim. One more interesting thing about Yarim, if you haven't noticed, is his name is very similar to Yaren, the name of a very late game boss in the Calamity mod. I mean, Yaren is the jungle dragon, and Yarim is the jungle king, so it seems they are connected in some way, shape, or form. If we want to know why Yarim is so strong, we need to do some more looking into it. And now we have our next lead, being Yarin. We should go to him and see what Yarin is and how it's connected to Yarim. Immediately, I noticed that Yarin's title is Defender of the Tyrant King. The definition of a tyrant is a cruel, oppressive, ruler. Sorry, I have a stutter if you haven't noticed. So it already sounds like it's fitting our main man Yarim. But maybe there's more to it. We should look further into it. Maybe if we do some more looking into it, we can find what makes this Yarim guy so powerful, and how we could possibly defeat him. However, unlike Calamitous, Yarim does not speak, meaning we will have to go straight to the lore. I mean, there is a way he speaks, but I will get to that later. When reading the lore page, we can find out that Yarin saved Yarim's life. As a child, Yarim was nearly burned alive in the underworld. However, with the help of his newly hatched companion, he managed to escape with major injuries, but alive. Yarim used his dragon to return to his temple and slay the corrupt the leaders of the Jungle Empire. Yaram owes his life to Yaren, and Yaren is like a best friend to Yaram. Strange that in the story of Yaram is described as, well, a lot better of a person than in the story of Calamitous. But that's not really anything. I just figured I'd point that out. My next idea was to look at Garen's drops to see if anything indicated Garen's power that made him such a powerful, king, other than his dragon servant. While looking through Garen's drops, two items caught my attention. Garen's second phase fight has a 1% chance of dropping a weapon called Yaram's Crystal, a weapon that is a pretty basic reskin of the last prism. There's not really much else to it. It doesn't seem to. Some light on it, maybe. But perhaps it is one of Yaram's abilities to summon a beam similar to the last prism, but we don't know. The next item I want to take a look at is an item labeled Yaram's Gift, an expert mode exclusive drop. Yaram's Gift is an accessory that increases damage and defense, implying that Yaram is sturdy and powerful, and it releases explosive dragon dust that does a fairly large amount of damage. With this item, you can also inflict the Holy Flames debuff on your enemies. On top of that, when you're in your invincible phase, such as doing something like a magic mirror teleport or just logging into your world, meteors will rain from above. So that was a lot to unpack. That's a pretty big accessory. So we just went from knowing that he's a jungle tyrant who has a pet dragon to he's a jungle tyrant who has a pet dragon who can summon meteors, fire explosive dragon dust, inflict the Holy Flames debuff, on top of being incredibly sturdy and powerful. We might also know how to use magical weapons such as Yaram's Crystal. So Yaram sounds like quite a hard foe. It makes sense that Calamitous would fear a being like Yaram. One incredibly interesting thing is Yaren's soul description. The description of Yaren's soul reads, "I would not be able to bear a world without my companion by my side. Unfortunately, fate shall never have to see, for better or worse." Not only that, but after further investigation, I found that the description of Calamitous' soul reads, "The witch unraveled, perhaps the only among my cohorts who's ever given me cause for doubt. Now that you have defeated her, your destiny is clear. Come now, face me." The last one just introduced a whole lot of stuff in about 5 seconds. After the fight with Calamitous, Yaram tells us to come and face him. Whether or not this boss fight exists and is hidden, or whether or not they plan on adding it in the future, or if they simply don't plan on adding it at all, I don't know. All I know is that it'd be super cool to face off against the Tyrant King. Also, I realized in post that there was kind of a joke Yaram boss fight in the Calamity mod at one point. The boss known as the Lord was a post-Supreme Calamity boss that was just a joke and was the most difficult boss in the mod. It's something item? No. It was dropped by Pulled Horse. The Lord was a boss that could randomly swap AI, so he can become any boss in the entire game, implying that Yaram has a supernatural ability to use the abilities of the other bosses in the Calamity mod, or that could have just been a joke. We don't know. We don't know pretty much anything, actually. But the story of Yaram is not a simple one. I think I've done a mediocre job attempting to find what Yaram's true power is. In the Calamity mod, there are many much more subtle references to Yaren, like in Yaren's theme. This video took a while to make, and I put lots of heart and soul into this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that jazz. Goodbye.